What do you do when an older parent or family member needs to downsize or move and the rest of the family lives far away in another state, for instance? We recently encountered this situation, and it's fairly common, with an older woman who had Parkinson's, lived alone, and had a major health crisis, needed to go into rehab, and could not return to her home. So, as a realtor, I was called that the house needed to be sold and possessions needed to be moved, and I called Sheilah uh, of Call Sheilah, our organizing and moving expert. And Sheilah, can you tell me about how this whole situation was resolved?
Sure, and I'm really glad you called because I know at the end of this, the person was safely in their home, and all parties were very happy about it, including the real estate agent. So we set out to make sure that all of his belongings, or all of her belongings, excuse me, were accounted for. We worked closely with the family virtually to decide what happens to the stuff. There's donations, there's sales, there's just moving, there's disposing. So we work closely with the family virtually to make sure all of that happens and get the home that's being sold and emptied from point A to point Z, which means ready to list. So we work closely with you to do that, and
Right.
everybody was happy in the end.
Yes, the people who lived in Florida, the family members, were absolutely thrilled with the results because this woman was moved and had very little difficulty in the transition, and we were able to get the house on the market fairly quickly because they didn't want to deal with an empty house for a long time. And Liz, where do you come into this situation? This is Liz Halvorsen of Mess to Bliss.
So my business, I do a lot more of the kind of support around the family. I talk them through the process. I work with the client at an individual basis, helping them go from a large scale macro organizing project to more of the fine-tuned micro organizing. So once they're moved, help them set up, also do any decluttering that they might need at the end of their transitional move.
Right, and in this situation, Liz was able to come in, especially at the end, and help this woman really transition into her new surroundings. So what I want you to remember in this whole process is that you don't need to panic when a crisis arises. You live far away. Our team is here to help, and we are going to go into more specific details of dealing with the stuff that has to be moved, which is can be problematic in our next video. And I have been doing these downsizing workshops at Bethlehem High School for over a decade. We're doing another one in the fall and one in the spring, and we'll have more information about that in the notes that follow. I'm Nina Schur with Albany Realty Group, and thank you for watching today.